Yo, what is good everyone? DB Zoom back at you with a brand new video. We have a really good video for you in store today, guys. I'm going to break down all of the abilities that just got leaked for the 2nd year anniversary. I'm only going to cover the Sparking characters. I'm not going to add any fluff in this video. I'm just going to get straight to the point, give my thoughts of how good these abilities are for Vegeta Blue, for Merge Zamasu. We're going to cover also Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We're going to cover Shenron, even though it's not in the thumbnail because I couldn't fit him in there. And Rage Trunks as well. So stay tuned, guys. This is going to be a very good one. And credit to DBZ Space for everything, and as well as Game Press. Shout out to Ema919 and everybody up here, and as well as Renzi. So let's just get right into the video, guys. We're going to start off with Vegeta Blue. Pretty much the prize of the banner, right? So it's going to be Vegeta Blue, Legends Limited. So let's get right into it. His main ability does a whole bunch of stuff, guys. It does 5 different things, so let's check that out. As you can see, for his first part of his main ability, it says randomly destroys one of your own card. Reason being why is because at number 2, you guys can also see draws an ultimate card's arts next, so they want you to have that in your hand automatically. They don't want it to be on the side just in case you guys have 4 cards, and I actually love that aspect of it. And at the third part of his main ability, it says restore own health by 20% and as well as ki by 50. So this right here is huge. This is what you're looking for in the main ability, because you can definitely string in a few combos, then going straight for that ultimate arts card. So yeah, there's that. So it's pretty crazy. And it doesn't end there with his main ability. He also gets a 40% damage inflicted buff for 20 timer counts, and as well as a 20% damage reduction for 20 timer counts. So this guy absolutely does everything for his main ability. And before I go on, guys, this guy, Vegeta Blue, is definitely the best character in the game, in my personal opinion. So right away, I mean, it's pretty phenomenal so far, but we're going to dive in a little bit deeper and you guys can see why. So his unique ability, his first unique ability, does a bunch of stuff as well. So let's check that out. So applies the following effects to self when character enters the battlefield. Plus 50% damage, just damage by entering the battlefield, and it cannot be stacked, so obviously, so it's just because then that would be broken. So 50% is great, and then as well as reduces damage received by 30% for 15 timer count. So he's tanky as well. So what can't this guy do? And then right here we see that it nullifies. He nullifies his own attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions for 15 timer counts. So any kind of poisons and stuff like that. So that's really good, just in case you're fighting like maybe a Kid Buu or something with paralyzed. I mean, this guy is just kind of immune to that for 15 timer counts. And then we can see he also just draws a special cards arts next. Okay, we're gonna get to the special cards arts in a little bit. Let's just get into this crazy main ability of what makes him the best character in the game, in my opinion. So a lot like the last Super Vegito, the purple one, Legends Limited, that we got for the 1st year anniversary, this guy kind of works in some sorts of a way in terms of the way he gets his buffs. It's pretty crazy. So I'm gonna try reading this off in a very understandable way. I'm gonna read it off and I'm gonna try explaining it to the best of my abilities. So right here we see 30% damage inflicted to Fusion Warrior in the start of the battle. So what that does, guys, is so for characters like Zamasu, obviously this is meant to be for him, but annoying teams like maybe like Kefla, as you guys can see here in the right, Fusion Warriors are for sure going to be struck by this. And all of this stacks up, guys, 30% and then plus 50%, so that's already 80% in any other buffs he gets, maybe his main ability 40%. So Fusion Warriors, this guy can absolutely annihilate Fusion Warriors. So maybe if you run him in God Key and not use too much Fusion Warriors, so you don't get annihilated by him yourself. So yeah, there's that. So I mean, I like it. And then right here it says applies the following effects to to allies depending on their battle style when this character is switched to standby. Possibly limited to Fusion Warriors and God Key allies. Or applies the following effects to self depending on the ally's battle style when this character enters the battlefield. So battle style means some characters are support units, some characters are ranged melee units, and good stuff like that. So what this guy does, and it's pretty much, it says right here, it's unclear which or even if the two happens. So one of the two or maybe both will happen. Like I said, the the translations are subpar, so it's like 90% translated, which is definitely good enough for me. If I mean, just to take a look at these abilities beforehand is great. So shout out to those guys again. And then here it says, so melee type. So if there's a melee type, so applies the following effects. So we don't know if it's going to be whether you switch in or out. So if you fight a melee type, it's pretty much a 40% to strike damage inflicted for 15 timer count. So boom, right away. And then if it's a range type, same thing, but blast, 40% damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, which is a very good amount of time. And then for support unit, whether you have a support unit switched in or if you have a support unit switched out, it's pretty much unclear, but this is kind of the gist of it. It increases cards art speed by level 1 for 15 timer counts. And then for defense types, it pretty much gains attribute upgrade, minus 30% to enemy sustained damage cut, effects for 15 timer counts. So right away, boom. And then right here it says, take above the ability with a grain of salt. Based on the code from the datas, we're unsure if above effects actually present at all in the actual game. So I'm assuming it does. Okay. And then at 3 here it says applies the following effects when faced with enemy depending on the battle style. So not only does your allies get buffed, you also get buffed the same way of what I just read above. But for buffs for not only your allies when switched out, but for yourself as well. So just think about this, guys. Just really think about this. Not only does your team get buffed tremendously, you're getting buffed as well. So this guy is by far the best unit in the game. I mean, and he also has anti-blast cover change. So people like a Bojack cannot use your cheap little abilities to cover change. So that's phenomenal right there. That's what I like to see. So, and then right here it says strike effects. Some of his strike effects. It has blast armor, so he has blast armor. He also has cover change for blast attacks. And then right here, anytime he uses a strike card, it restores own ki by 5 on hits. So that's pretty cool. Inflicts enemy attribute downgrades minus 100%. So basically, whenever he uses a strike attack, so health, so regen right here, boom, minus 100 to health restoration for 3 timer counts. So that's great. For just what? This is crazy. This is crazy. Look at this, guys. Look at all of this that this guy does so far. I feel like I've been reading this for so long. So let's just get a move on. Let's get a move on. And it also says draw a strike card next activates once. Oof. What? That's just insane. Extra move cancels enemy attribute downgrades on hit, activates 2 times. Inflicts enemies with attribute downgrades plus 25% to damage received for 15 timer counts. And it's a combo starter, guys. You can combo. This is the green card, which it has blast armor, by the way. I mean, it doesn't. This one doesn't have blast armor. I'm confused with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but you can combo start with this as well, so that's great. And special move inflicts all enemies with no switching, kind of like the Super Saiyan 4 Purple Goku, which could be really deadly for 3 timer counts. And then as well as inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrades plus 15% damage received upon hit for 15 timer count. So. Oof, I feel like I'm out of breath. I feel like I've been reading for so long, guys, and I feel like I got to get a move on because this is just Super Vegito. Oh my goodness, look at this. Broken. Okay, let's get on to his ultimate move, guys. By the way, his ultimate move is the most damage ultimate move in the whole game. So this introduces a new aspect of damage to an ultimate move, guys. So there has never been a ultimate move that does as much damage as Vegeta Blues. Okay, so it says right here 50% to damage inflicted for his ultimate damage for 3 timer counts. Gain attribute upgrade minus 100% to enemy sustained cut for, so basically no cover change will work on this. Like let's just say Zamasu, I think he has cover change as well, so that's not going to work. Health restoration when it reaches 0, so like the Zenkai Kid Goku, I mean that will get nullified, and as well as nullifies any special cover change like Bojack. So best character in the game. And I feel like I'm out of breath because I just read this essay, guys. Look at this. This is just one character. This is insane. Okay. All right, let's go on to Super Saiyan Rage Trunks. So main ability, draws an ultimate moves, removes opponent's buffs upon activation, destroys his hand on hit. Okay, interesting. And then as well as plus 35% damage to reduction, damage reduction for 20 timer counts, and as well as plus 60% damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Just really quick, guys, this guy's a defensive unit, so this guy's gonna be super tanky, right? And I'll read it and you guys can see. So cover change plus anytime he cover changes minus basically plus 30% damage reduction to the enemy's hits. Combo rest question mark. I don't know what this is right here. Combo rest question mark. Most likely a sub count reduction. Oh, when enemy uses Rising Rush. Okay, so he has a unique ability. When an enemy uses Rising Rush, you can take him off the bench a lot quicker due to his sub count. So that's interesting. It's interesting. So he's meant for you guys to tank your Rising Rush, your opponent's Rising Rush. So that's pretty cool. Number 3, on switch in, plus 20% damage reduction for 20 timer counts. So on switch, plus 20% damage reduction on 20 timer counts. So just by switching, you get an additional damage reduction. So 30% and then plus another 20%. What is this? That's ludicrous. So 50% damage reduction right away, and his stats are already tanky. So, and then plus damage inflicted against God Key and regeneration. So this is interesting because if you have Zenkai Purple Gohan, the Zenkai Purple Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which already does a lot of damage to regeneration, and then you add this guy on your team, this team would regeneration would tickle this team pretty much, right? So this is an anti-regeneration. I'm loving this character so far. I really am, guys. All right, so unique ability 2. When this character or when this fighter or an ally takes damage from a strike, blast, or special, it's pretty much he gets a 10% damage inflicted buff, cannot be cancelled, and it stacks up to 6 times. So pretty much if somebody combos you, let's just say Kefla, for 4 to 6 combos, that's 40% damage buff, which is crazy. And then as well as 10% damage inflicted for this character and future or hybrid allies for 20 timer counts. Eesh. Oh my gosh, so much stuff. So even more stuff, even more buffs to allies as well. And then as well as draws a green card next. Activates only once. Whew. These units are looking spicy. I mean, this is nothing compared to Vegeta Blue, but this unit is looking real nice. He's going to stay along. He's going to stay in the meta for a long time, guys. His extra move basically is just 15% damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, which is pretty basic. Removes own attribute downgrades, which is great, I guess. And then heals his HP by 15%, which is always nice in a green card. So I like that. His special move is plus 2% or plus 2 to enemy substitution count for 20 timer counts on hit. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, I mean that's cool. All right, so on to the Merge Zamasu, one of my favorite characters, guys, in the whole series in general. So his main ability, recover plus 20% health. And I'm not trying to make the video too long, so that's why I'm kind of pushing the abilities a lot longer. That Super Vegito took a lot, or that Vegeta Blue took a lot of time off this video because he did everything. So, all right. So his main ability recovers 20% to health, which is great. Key recovery to 40, which is another great ability, and then as well as 100% damage, penetrate damage cut to 15 timer counts. So pretty much no cover change will happen there, and as well as draws an ultimate move cards arts next. So he can combo things in with his key recovery and can also heal his health. Really good main ability so far, guys. Unique ability is 15 timer count elapse plus uncancelable. I'm sorry, 40% damage inflicted. So that's great. I mean, just 15 timer counts. Just when 15 timer counts pass, he just gains a 40% damage buff. So boom, right there. 30 timer counts pass, he gains a card arts draw speed, which is uncancelable as well. For I can't say that word, I don't know why. For 1 draw speed for plus 1 arts card draw speed, so that's great. 50 timer counts, which is it's gonna take a long time to get there unless you're fighting regen. Minus 5 to all cards arts reduction, which is great. And then 30% to blast damage if you don't or do not, it's unclear, have a Zamasu or Goku Black character as an ally. So this guy's very blast heavy as well, just letting you guys know. Unique ability 2, when enemy combo ends, recovers health per second for 30 timer counts. I don't know how much, but I'm curious to actually see when enemy combo ends. That's interesting. As well as getting a 20% damage inflicted. Ooh, hold up. And he also gets a 20% damage inflicted buff cannot be canceled stacks up to 4 times. That's interesting. So this could go all the way up to 80 counts. That's kind of scary. And then as well as minus 40% damage reduction to cover change. Nullifies combo if combo is against his tri-cards. So just like Super Vegeta from the first year anniversary or anybody else that could cover change, he could cover change a strike card and pretty much send you back flying, which is great. Always great to have those. Has extra move on activation. 3 of the following effects will occur. So 3 of the following effects will occur. Interesting. So only, oh wow, there's 4 things that could happen and 3 of them could occur in his extra move. Regain ki by 40, which is great. Plus 20% blast damage for 20 timer counts, which is very solid. Grants immunity to debuffs, which is great for 20 timer counts, and reduces enemies ki by 40. So I would love this, maybe some of these, and maybe any other 2 to work. So that's really good. So he gets 3 buffs for just for his green card. So that's great. His special move inflicts enemies with 20 plus strike cards arts. What? So plus 20. So hold up. Inflicts enemy with 20 plus strike cost for 20 timer counts upon activation hit. Wow. So if you hit him with your special move, the guy can't pretty much string. This is good against Kefla, right? Because Kefla likes to use a lot of strike cards, and this would pretty much limit her to a lot of combos. So this is great. And we have his ultimate move, which looks great. I've just checked it out on their social media on Twitter, so it looks great. Check that out. Damage varies depending upon number of allies alive. So if there's 3 allies alive, it's 30% damage to his ulti. 2 is 50% damage, and then 1 is 70% damage. So that's a lot. That's a really strong ultimate. You don't want to get hit by this. And like I said, go check that out. It looks really cool. All right, guys. So we're on to the final 2 characters, which is Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Omega Shenron, the last 2 GT characters. So let's briefly go through this because, like I said, I didn't really want to make this video. What am I, 16, 17 minutes? I don't want to make it this long, but it's that Super Vegito really took a lot of time from this video. Or I mean, that Blue Vegito, I'm sorry. So right here it says main ability plus 20% damage inflicted for 20 timer counts for his main ability. As well as he gets a ultimate cards move next, and then plus 30% damage to blast card for 30 seconds, which is a lot. So technically that's 50, right? Because he gets that 20 up there as well. And then plus 1 to draw speed for his cards for 15 timer counts, which is always nice because string in a good amount of combos there. So looking pretty good. I like his main ability. He could fit into GT, he could fit into Saiyans and Sun Family if you kind of squeeze him in there as well. So his unique ability on switch in, if another Saiyan is on this team, plus 50% ki. What? Ooh. What? On switching, if another Saiyan is on the team, plus 50% ki. That's a lot, guys. This is a lot. All right. And then as well as plus 45 damage reduction for 10 timer counts. Oh my goodness. Yeesh. And he's tanky. And then 1 plus 1. So each time you use a blast card, 1 per blast card used. So if you use a blast card, it's 25% damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. And then minus 4 blast cards cost for 10 timer counts. What? This is broken. Hopefully I'm reading this correctly because this character is shaping up to be really broken, guys. This Super Saiyan 4 Goku, oh my gosh. Yeah, this guy's, I didn't think he'd be this good. And his unique ability on switching, plus basically you draw a blast cards arts card next, and then plus 15% damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, which is great. And then as well as plus 20% blast damage for 20 timer counts. So this, he just gets buffed so much. So his main ability 20, 30, 50, and then as well as 25 here, and then 15 here, then 20 here. Oh my gosh. All right, so his extra move has blast armor, by the way, guys. So that's really cool. You recover his ki by 30%, which is already phenomenal. And as well as applies debuff plus 20% impact damage received for 30 timer counts. Yeesh. Okay, so this guy's shaping up to be solid all around. All right, I like this. I didn't think he'd be this good, and I really want him now. To be honest, there's a lot of Saiyan teams you could build around this guy, especially with Zenkai Goku. Oof. Alright, so anyways, a special move plus 20% damage inflicted for 10 timer counts. Destroys blast cards in hand and gives the following effects based on the number of blast cards destroyed. And that's unclear just yet, but it's probably going to work like purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta from the anniversary. Somewhat around those lines, because this hasn't been data mined 100% just yet. Like I said, it's like about 90% done. So there's that. And special damage inflicted for 3 timer counts. So that's really good. And his ultimate move, I'm sure it does a lot more, but this is what we have so far. It restores own health by 40% on hit. What? It's a lot. 40% is a lot. Okay, anyways. So I like this Goku a lot. All right, on to the last character. So I don't want to make the video too long. Where are we at right now? We are at almost 20. We're at 20 minutes. No, I don't want to make it this long. All right, Omega Shenron, main ability. He draws a ultimate cards next, which is everybody. Restores ki by 30, which is solid. Increases damage inflicted by 30 timer counts. I mean, by 30% for 20 timer counts, which is great. All right. Unique ability, adds 1 Dragon Ball at the start of the game. So boom, just gets automatically a Dragon Ball for just playing the game. All right, there's that. Applies the following effects itself when character enters the battlefield. Plus 30% damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, which is great. 30% is a lot. It's a very solid amount. All right. And then his last one here for his first unique ability is reduces damage received by 20 timer count. I mean by 20% for 15 timer counts, which is great. So looking pretty good so far. And for his unique main ability, it says right here, as you guys can see, it's a rough translation. So it's not down to the T, but it's a rough translation. So let's see. Increases damage inflicted by 10%, possibly on switching. Okay, solid. Removes 1 Dragon Ball from enemy, activates twice. So very much like the yellow Gohan before he transforms, which is also really cool. And as well as when this character switches out to standby, applies the following effects to GT, allies GT. So he buffs GT a lot. Let's see. 15% in chance to inflict heavy poison or heavy bleed status on strikes or blast cards, activates twice, possibly 20% for himself. A little bit confusing, but interesting. All right. So next we have when this character is switched out to standby, applies the following effect to Shadow Dragon allies. This makes me think that we're gonna get Shadow Dragons very soon, right here, because we don't basically have any Shadow Dragons, right? So besides the Sen Shenrons that we have right now. And then it says plus 20% chance to inflict paralyze on strike or blast card, activates twice, possibly 10% for himself. And then it says basically take this ability with a grain of salt, because nothing is yet pretty much set in stone here in terms of some rough translations. And then we're almost done, guys. So his extra move is basically AOE, inflicts enemies with attribute downgrade plus 3% to substitution count, which is solid. And then as well as that means he takes them out and then he switches in and then adds 3% to substitution count. And then here we have inflicts enemy with attribute downgrades plus 20% to damage received, which is always nice for 15 timer counts, which is a very solid extra move. His special move is 30% to special move and ultimate damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. And his ultimate move is plus 50% damage inflicted for 3 timer counts and inflicts enemy with the attribute downgrade plus 30% damage received on hit, which is great. So this guy is shaping up to be very solid. Probably the weakest one in my opinion out of the bunch. And then this is going to wrap up the video, guys. We have red Gogeta here in the bottom that I'm going to just show you guys. Or the, yeah. I mean, we have the other characters here. Let me just show you really quick. So this is the red Gogeta. If you guys want to pause the video, I'm not going to go over it. This is his abilities here. This is it. If you guys want to pause it, check it out. This is it. And then here is the X Super Trunks, the new one, the purple. This is it right here. Pause the video, check it out, slow it down if you guys want to see. Okay, that should be enough time for you guys. And then as well as the X Super Vegeta green. I mean, I'm sorry, this is the Super Trunks. This is the Super Vegeta. If you guys want to pause it, check it out. And yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching the video. I didn't intend to make this video that long, but there is a lot of explanation done for this video. So yeah, good luck on your guys' anniversary polls. I'll see you then. Peace.